here's a look at this day in history. March 2nd.
In 1836, Texas declared its independence from Mexico, but the U.S. didn't recognize the new republic. On this day in 1933, King Kong premiered in New York, the backdrop to the film's iconic scenes of the big ape atop the Empire State Building. In 2006, President George W. Bush announced a deal between the U.S. and India, promoting civilian nuclear cooperation. And on this day in 1904, a doctor was born like no doctor before. Theodore Geisel was Dr. Seuss. A writer and illustrator, his books had good use. Those cats, who's, and Grinches taught children to read with silly rhythms and rhymes, the stuff good books need. After a long life, Dr. Seuss passed away, but his wonderful stories are here with us to stay. And that's this day in history.
I want to give a shout out to my former students in the 7th and 8th grade. I appreciate you all and miss having you in class. From Mr. M. Smith. Shout out to my 7-8 ELA block for last Friday. Miss Kim was my sub and she said they worked hard. Thanks guys. From Mrs. Doggett. Shout out from a teacher to the following students who have improved attitudes and efforts. Nadia B., Keegan A., Julian S., Warren H., and Lucero R. Mrs. Harper would like to send a shout out to all of her students who have been working hard in class and coming in at lunch to retake quizzes and show their new learning. Here is a shout out from a teacher for students consistently making positive efforts in class. Claiming S., Alex D., Zulika H., Michaela D., Delilah J., and Emma D. Mrs. Barrera's shout out, Seaver K., thank you for always helping me take down all my chairs. And Geraldine R., thanks for helping me practice my Spanish speaking. Eric, Mason, Charlene, Kimberly, Aiden, Atali, Karina, Braden, it's been great working with you all. From Mrs. Clausen. Mrs. Stevens wants to give a shout out to Joshua M. for always being respectful and holding the door open for others. Mrs. Stevens would also like to give a shout out to Romeo, Jackson, and Harry from her classes for making good choices. From Mrs. Stadelman, I want to send a shout out to my Walk to Math group 1st and 2nd period for following the K for kindness and bark. They are a really fun group to work with. Mrs. Sweeney sends out this shout out to Moses P. for always being positive. Mr. Weens has this shout out. Leah H. She has shown much improvement in positivity, always putting forth best effort and being to class on time. From Ms. Beardsley, I want to send a shout out to my 3rd and 4th block students. They wrote the best retell and rhyme about our article on lowrider car culture. It was awesome. They hit this central idea, made a claim, and dropped some serious knowledge they learned from the article all while rhyming. Nice job, Block 2. This special shout out goes to Mrs. Clausen for holding students accountable and encouraging them to always do their best. From Mrs. Sawalski. This shout out goes to Rosalinda from Mrs. Doggett's class for working so hard with me. I'm so proud of you, Rosalinda. From Mrs. Day.
Left foot, right foot right. Feet in the day and feet in the night. Wet foot, dry foot, high foot, low foot. Back feet, front feet. Everywhere I look, I see feet. How many different feet you meet? Slow feet, quick feet, well feet, cheap feet, up feet, down feet. Ha ha, here come clown feet. Small feet, big feet. Oink, 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 here come pig feet. His feet, her feet. What's that? Fuzzy first feet. In the house with it and on the street. Tell me how many different feet you meet. You got big feet, dinosaur stump with it. You got big teeth, dinosaur chomp with it. feet, 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 feet.